Okay, welcome back. My guest from last time is still here. We had a good time, so we decided to continue on for a little bit. And now we are officially in Arc 2, the controversial arc. If you can get through this arc, you can get through the rest of the game. But there's been a lot of people who have stopped here because they are annoyed by the social commentary and such, and we'll talk plenty about that over the next half hour or so. But for now, this is a little bit of just characterization stuff, just them hanging out in the store, talking a little bit more about Bubba, and Auburn will come in momentarily.
Who's Barry again?
Barry's the guy who owns the Port Ariana Equipment King.
Oh, okay.
But I guess Kovac owns it. He owns the weapon shop in Port Ariana. And for a while it was, he sold the weapons, they sold the armor.
Okay. Alright, but now we got Auburn, so you should probably talk maybe.
Yes. So, the Incredibles theme, not like the main theme, that would be too recognizable.
Yep.
But I picked like a lesser known theme that played a few times for Auburnstein. I just like variations, the how do you say that, light motif?
Yeah.
Motif, is that how you say it?
L-E-I-T.
Light motif.
Some French shit.
Yeah. That's why I picked the Bubba Hotep thing for Sod and Shroud, because it's just so many variations on that.
Yeah.
She's got one too. And she's already she's already just like totally psyched with Port Ariana. She lived in the desert, which was, I guess, a similar climate, but, it looked like shit because it was just wreckage all over the place.
Yeah.
And now she's in this,
she's pretty upfront, too. None of this Emma wishy-washy shit.
Yeah, well, that's what Sod likes about her so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's here now, and it's like kind of familiar because of the temperature, but also just beautiful and relaxing, and she's already thinking about staying here. So she's thinking about getting to know the locals, I guess.
Yeah, she has a great backstory, though. I've always thought that she had probably the most compelling, except for maybe Bones, just because it's so insane. But her backstory is awesome.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed coming up with it. She's based a little bit on. Well, actually, that might be a spoiler. There's some spoilers involving Auburn. Most of you probably know them. Just in case somebody's watching who doesn't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Keep that under the hood for now.
Yeah.
So
was Torto supposed to look like? Is he supposed to be like a half man, half pig?
No, it's just that stupid spray. I don't know what's wrong with that spray. Why he looks like he has a pig nose. I don't think it's supposed to look like that. Is the thing.
No, it's probably not intentional.
It's like the shadow. It's like it's either a little bit of hair or it's like the shadow of that hat on his bald head. But it winds up looking like fucking pig ears.
Pigman, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
His name's Torto too. It's just
Torto. Well, I think that the sprite probably influenced what we decided to call him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so this is a unique moment here where he decides that he doesn't want to make more money, basically, and that's fucking un-American.
Yeah, this guy's a rebel.
What's this line coming up? Maybe I missed it. We might have missed it. Where Stoic says, "Conscience beats commerce. Let's write this day on the calendar," or something. And
people didn't like that.
Yeah, people don't like it. But it's a fucking joke, you guys. I mean, it's funny. Come on, that's funny.
Yeah, I guess
I can't. Oh, but you will.
Jesus, I think that's one of mine.
Is it? Yeah. Well, we turned that into a running gag for the whole freaking game, along with this gray-haired girl who gets steadily more traumatized till she's completely jaded, and her hair was already prematurely gray, so maybe she was just fated for that. And here's Barry, and they're really hard on Barry.
Oh, I remember. Okay, I remember this guy now.
Yeah, they're super hard on him. And this was supposed to be okay. I'm gonna clear this up once and for all. This was supposed to, the way they're behaving now, just being so aggressive and angry about this whole thing. This was supposed to be an indication that they're not being objective. They're not being, as reasonable as they could be. I mean, yes, a lot of their suspicions wind up being correct because you wouldn't have a fucking game otherwise. But it's you're not. This is not me fucking just standing on a street corner with flyers like, just getting transcribed into the game here. I mean, and people think that it's, people think like, oh, you're Saad, so this must be exactly like what you would say in this situation. It's like, no, dude, Saad's younger than me. He was younger than me at the time. He's a lot younger than me now. He's supposed to be like somewhat immature, and Stoic is like just fucking cranker. He's just old, and he's seen this all before. Except for the chain store concept, and that's another important part of this, is that we're used to chain stores. We've grown up with them. They're just everywhere.
Oh yeah.
There's McDonald's here, then there's McDonald's in the next town. But Equipment King is the first chain store ever. Except
a ferry shop.
Well, if that counts.
Yeah, I suppose it doesn't.
They're more like government agencies.
Yeah.
But this is the first chain store ever. So it's like, it's alien. And, and like, you could tell, in this scene, basically, they've, Shroud and Stoic have basically, this line, they're up to no good, we need to find a way to prove it. They basically decided that Equipment King's already guilty of something. And so they're just looking for the evidence, which, isn't the most ethical way to do their job. But that's what makes it interesting, you guys.
Yeah, they're protagonists, they're not perfect.
Exactly. I mean, that's... I don't know. I mean, I guess I've just read too many, like, reviews being like, oh, well, this game hates business so much that I just can't stand it. It's like, come on, you guys. Do you think Walmart would defend you the way you defend them right now? No.
Yeah, I'd suspect not.
You don't owe them a friggin' thing. You really don't. Okay, so I should not get too worked up about that, but I've been like taking shit about some of these scenes for fucking like 10 years. No. Yes, yeah, actually. It is. Holy shit. Yeah. And the funny thing is, like, this is the old stuff, so this is what we always hear about from people because it's the early stuff people see. I wish I was still hearing more stuff about, like, Arc 7. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's a good point. And people who are giving you shit, I mean, you wrote this when you were 10 years younger than you are now.
Yeah,
that is just crazy to think. Like, I was 16, I was in fucking high school when this came out, and it's just unbelievable.
No, I would have, of course, I would write it differently now. I mean, it would be fairly similar, I think, but, I would probably be able to communicate more of what I wanted to communicate. But the point being was that this is not just righteous Saad being right all the time, because business is just evil, and it's like anything else. It can be evil, it can be good. It's just what you do. It depends on what you do. So this is So that was my thing about that. I'm sure it'll come up again.
Yeah, if they weren't suspicious, we wouldn't have a very good story, would we?
No, I know. Yeah, the ending of the game is like, oh, actually, no, we were mistaken. They're good. They're just, trying to make a living. Tough times. But, yeah, it wouldn't be much fun. And it's a little, like, symbolic, I think. Oh, this is great. We are strong. No one can tell us we're wrong. Strength is a battlefield.
Pat Benatar to tell her.
Maybe that is Pat Benatar. Actually, that's an elf, and she kind of looks like an elf. So there you go. I hate being stationed in the bank. You're always tense. That's what that guard said.
Yeah, I don't blame him after almost getting his shit ripped by Douglas.
And then we go down to the Blue Tides office, where you can look at I love this. You can look at the property, and it's just like, oh. And she goes, here's paper you need. Holy shit, I can't afford this. And this leaves. It's a totally optional bit. But there's a lot of, there's a lot of stuff in Port Ariana that you didn't really have a chance to see until you have, free reign like this. I think Kovac's mansion will be up, too, if we go to the next room. But let's meet Bubba. Hey, it's me, matey Saad, and Bones, too. Tell your friend Finley I ain't forgot his insults from yesternight. He and I got a score to settle. Good old Bubs.
Yeah, he's a tough dude to dislike. Yeah. Nice guy, well mannered,
and his weird accent. It's like Scottish pirate.
Yeah.
Maybe like a hint of Caribbean. It's just bizarre. Well, I guess that'd be pirate though, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, I actually heard. So this is if we have any British viewers, you can discuss this. But I heard that the pirate accent is actually the same as the Bristol accent, because there was some famous pirate who was from Bristol.
Oh.
Bristol, England, and so
Yeah.
now everybody thinks that. So when we go to Bristol, it's like, oh, everyone in this town's a pirate.
But are
So-
they walking around saying "yar"?
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, probably not.
But if you watch Skins, all the kids do sound kind of like pirates, and it takes place in Bristol. So maybe there's something to it. But yeah, like I said, British viewers, please let us know.
That would be interesting. Yeah, so now we're going into the boating office / jail.
It's funny, I never thought of that.
Like, I don't know, just, if you lived in like a small town with, this is the creative use of space is what
Yeah.
they'd call this. Like, why pay for the maintenance for a second building?
This is
You
good
can
town
just-
planning.
Exactly. You can throw them just in one.
That's a nice font.
It's a nice little sprite here. In general, the tropical tile set was one of the really good ones, I thought, for XP.
Yeah,
The palm trees look good, and it's just very bright and colorful. It's nice.
yeah, it's just a nice, and if you guys like the music, it's by a group called Havia or something. Is that right?
Havia. I think.
Havia?
Oh, hey, here's the man.
Fuck yeah.
It's Finley. I find this is pretty funny. And this scene's this is the start of his arc, kind of, because he's being a jackass, but he's trying to be nice.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not really occurring to him that he's being a jackass.
Yeah, he means well. He's just... Yeah, he doesn't know how to talk to people, I guess.
Yeah, he's just lacking in the tact department. But yeah, Saad says we're not sellouts, and he goes, well, you better think about it. You're not going to sell anything. It's like, God damn it. Oh, that's right, the debate with Violet's coming up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so what happens here is that Saad goes to talk to Emma. He's feeling a little bad about not, being all that attentive with her. And then, of course, he's like, he met Auburn, and she's like,
Up his
the hot
alley.
new girl on the block. And so he goes to meet Emma, but then he meets Emma's roommate for the first time. And they have a debate about Equipment King. And let me tell you something, no scene in Master of the Wind has been rewritten, edited
Oh, wow.
more than this debate.
Oh, man.
Because I really, it was like that stuff I was talking about before. I didn't want it to look like Saad is the obvious winner because he's the hero and he's right all the time. That was not. I wanted somebody who could engage him and make her own decent points and not come off as like an antagonist or like a jerk or anything like that.
Or a noob like Finley.
Or a noob like Finley.
Sorry.
I know, that's actually a pretty funny burn from her. Yeah. Having to deal with the swaggering blowhards with golds pouring out of their pockets.
He's not subtle either, Jesus.
No, he's not. Not so bone his body, this guy. And then he references the rich people are scum line. He told me the other day, rich people are scum, and he meant it. Yeah, so she's a real estate agent, so she sold Kovac that big-ass mansion. I hope she got a nice commission, but I'm guessing not, since she's in this little apartment.
How did the name Kovac come to be again? I guess we can talk about it after this, because this is probably more important.
Well, that was your... you think you came up with that name, didn't it?
It was from some game or show.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I had the idea of his first name being Don.
Yeah.
And I think you just, picked Kovac out of the ether for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but it's catchy.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good name for his character.
Yeah, and it sounds like, a big businessman, like a Trump,
Yeah.
for example. Although Don Kovac is a fucking prince compared
Yeah,
to
I was
Donald
gonna
Trump.
say,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ. Sorry to Spain if you're watching this. Yeah, so what he's going on about that chain store concept, which he finds so alien, which is why would there be the same town in every store? And if you think about it, it is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But we're just used to it. And I think there's some line, I don't know if it's in this scene or in the a previous one, where he says, I don't trust any business model that's behaves like some kind of plague, spreading from town to town.
God.
And it kind of makes sense if you think about it. I mean, what's that clip from The Matrix where Agent Smith is like, human beings are a disease. You contribute nothing to this planet. You only consume everything until you move on.
And so, like he's not wrong, but calm down a bit. I don't know.
Yeah, well, not worth killing people over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the debate ended. Sod left. Emma's pissed, and she falls asleep instantly.
Yeah, I wish I could do that.
I know. Alright, so it's the next day now, and now we're gonna let's get some money. Yeah. There's really no good reason to keep things in the stash.
Yeah,
it's kind of a goofy thing.
I love Finley's self-assured face. Just always happy.
Oh, well, I don't have a job, so every day's like weekend for me.
Jesus.
Yeah. Sod's pretty patient with it, really.
Yeah, no, Sod's good with him. I guess Bones has been through enough shit. He doesn't want to deal with another idiot.
Yeah. Equipment King's interesting this stuff.
How could you come to that conclusion?
This is another money line coming up. Wait a minute. Sod, are you saying rich and powerful people can't do whatever they want? If you are, you're waging class warfare.
Yeah, if you don't know that that's a joke, then you're dumb as fuck.
Yeah, that's a joke, you guys. But he's pretty much channeling Fox News there. And let me that particular line of thought in this game can basically be traced back to a single incident, which is the newspaper that I worked at once over the summer, my old hometown newspaper. They had a series of editorials written by kids at the middle school, and one of them was about Walmart, and extremely comprehensive. Sometimes I wonder if the kids' parents wrote it for it, because it was really good, and just about how they use the cheap foreign labor, and how they're all the anecdotes about sexism and racism that come up, and the shitty healthcare or the lack of healthcare altogether for their employees. They make them go on state plans.
This would have been, this was like you said, 10 years ago.
Yeah, and Walmart was more in the news then. So now they've changed their logo and whatever, so I guess it's okay. I don't know.
They're not evil anymore.
But I remember I read the editorial and I was like, wow, yeah, that's pretty good for a 7th grader, damn. And then in the next issue of the paper, there was a letter from some lady who was like, I think you have a problem with business.
Jesus.
And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This 7th grader is writing a great editorial, and we have an adult who can't even form a rational thought other than you hate business. It's yeah, you're exactly right. The ancient tradition of exchanging goods and services, I hate it. Yeah. It's fucking terrible.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, what?
Wow.
But you know why people say that? It's to put you on the defensive right away, so that you're, instead of trying to back up your point, you feel the need to be well, no, I don't hate business. Some of my best friends are in business, or whatever.
Yeah, and then you look like you're weak because you can't
Exactly. Yeah. So it's sort of calculated without people being aware that it is. Yeah, hey, big man, what's up?
Pork chops, anyone?
Yeah. So this is the first introduction to the smithy, the mechanic of making your own armor, because we figured these guys are armor smiths who should be able to do this.
But I wish more games thought like that.
Yeah, but it didn't really take off. I don't know, I guess the scripting that Mark was using for this was a pain, so he wasn't thrilled. He would throw in some recipes for every different arc and stuff, but he wasn't super stoked about doing it. So it's sort of, it didn't become as prominent as we thought it might have been. And so we're going after, we've been talking in the game, there's been a kidnapping incident. These sort of prowlers took a bunch of kids. They're running off into the woods, and so Shroud's stoked to the rescue. And there's a lot of metaphors I had in mind for this. The fact that Equipment King is involved with kidnapping children was supposed to be a sort of smart-ass reference to the child, using child labor from China and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was instead of using goods made by kids making 2 cents a day, this was literally enslaving children. I thought I was so
some Nike shit.
Yeah, I thought I was so cutting by writing it like this. And then the whole thing with the hand and the idea of the alliance between business and very what's the word for it? Overzealous. Why am I religious extremism? There you go.
Yeah.
That was basically the idea that if you go to Walmart, in some Walmarts you can buy a fucking shotgun, but you won't find an uncensored gangster rap album. That's just that weird sort of alliance between that very conservative, old-fashioned mindset and business. So I think that was kind of what it represented. Let's go in the tent. Let's find out if there's a smithy. Feels like it'd be right there where those crystals are, but I don't think it is. I don't think there's anything to use. Let's try one more time. Yeah, see, it's weird. I guess I don't know, told him not to use it. Don't use my stuff. So we have to go back to the armor shop if we want to do it. Yay. So when you first played this, and what was your impression of the social commentary at the time?
I know, since I think I said 16 when Arc 2 came out. When you're 16, you're sort of in that mode. I didn't really critically think about it, put it that way. I saw you wrote you wrote about this stuff. This business is corrupt. It's being backed by religious extremists, and I was like, oh wow, this is intense. Holy shit. I didn't really think of it oh maybe. I definitely never came to mind oh Rob hates business or anything.
That's good.
I don't know. I was just too young to think about it beyond what was just presented in the game, and I enjoy it. But it's successful in getting you invested, unless that other stuff gets into your head, and you start thinking why does Rob hate business? What is this? But it does get you invested, because the first arc of the game, it's just these little stories that are they're exciting, but they're not building to a lot. Whereas this where it starts building to intense stuff, and you meet more characters like Violet and stuff, and the game starts opening up at this point. I think Arc 2 might be at least to me, it's the one I remember the most, especially this dungeon that we're about to get into. Holy shit!
I think at the time somebody said it was Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I can.
In the sense that it was just suddenly darker. And
because New Hope is all it's somewhat goofy, I guess. You have the fucking dancing things in Tatooine and Greedo shooting first and all that weirdness.
Well, that's not in the. Well,
that's not the original one.
Well, the original he does shoot first, and then they edit it so that Han Solo shoots first. So. No, wait.
I thought it was the other way around, because they don't want to make it look like Han was just.
That's right. I'm sorry. I totally screwed that up. In the original version, Han Solo shoots first, because he knows Greedo's about to pull a gun on him.
Yeah.
But I guess they thought that oh no, he has to be defending himself.
So weird.
So they very awkwardly added another blaster shot. And so I don't know who. It might not have even been George Lucas's idea, because there was some picture of him walking around with a shirt that said Han shot first. So I don't know what he really thinks of it. But the DVD I have has the original version, so none of that shit. But what was I gonna say?
This old man is a nice fucking house.
Yeah, I know. Is that?
Jeez, lives by the beach.
Yeah, no, he's got it made. I wonder if he even pays taxes. I don't know if he considers himself a Puerto Rican citizen.
Yeah, they consider him. Alright, so now, you guys know we're headed to the mines, and that dungeon, kicks a lot of ass. I don't think we'll get there in this playthrough, but, that dungeon...
Definitely, we can get to the very beginning, but...
That dungeon is probably my favorite dungeon. It's just so cool.
That dungeon might take a few...
It's long as fuck, but it's so good.
Yeah. Mark agonized over it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Agonized. But
it's...
His struggle yielded.
Yeah,
yielded
seriously.
Some greatness. There'll be plenty of time to talk about that, I'm sure.
You're the Shroud.
The Shroud. I'm the Shroud. And I want to add one more thing, too. And this will be the last thing I'll say about the business stuff for a while. Since this game has been made, I am actually a business owner.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
that's
forget,
a good point.
I own Solus Games, co-own. And we have Labyrinth and Dreams up on Steam. You can get it right now if you want.
Steam's also business.
Yes, Steam is business. think they're kidnapping children. And neither is Soulless Games, because we can't afford it. So, I don't hate business. In fact, I use businesses pretty often, as do most, human beings. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is, a brief flashback to
his family hanging out at the beach.
His family's, I held this off for a long time, like the full explanation of that, where in Arc 3, Sod sort of tells like a, truncated version to Morius, just with dialogue, no flashbacks. It's not till Arc 6 that you see, like, the whole thing play out, which I think, I like to think creates, like, some anticipation. Yeah. It's one of those things, like, you're going to hear about it eventually.
It does. It has a big impact on the story, of course. It's important shit.
So this is actually, these battlers is the second version of this, of these foreman guys. Anchor had a different battler. This is one of the first ones that I saw from him, actually, was these foreman guys. And I was impressed, for sure. But he, I guess, grew to not like the original, so he did them. And now there's these really hairy-armed guys.
They're getting their asses kicked.
Yeah, they are. They don't have a chance.
Dust Devil's such a good skill.
Yeah, oh man. It's like broken sometimes. But another thing that frustrated Anchor sometimes was that when he did the drawings and the coloring and all that, they were huge. Like, if just like the size.
Yeah.
But they had to get shrunk down so much to fit an RPG Maker on the interface. So a lot of the detail was lost. I know that always kind of frustrated him.
Yeah, understandably.
Understandably. So, but I think later in the game he was designing it with that in mind. Okay, so we're at the mine now. It's a great place to stop. Hope you guys enjoyed it and aren't too pissed off at me. And we will see you guys, or at least one of us will, next time.
Yeah, peace, bros.
Peace, bros.